Good morning, everyone. Let's wait for about 5-7 minutes before we start. Thank you for your patience. Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar. Let's wait for another 3 minutes to let others join, and then we can start this webinar. Thank you for your prolonged patience. Okay, I think we can start. So greetings to all. Good morning. So in today's webinar, we're going to discuss the importance of soft skills and how they are applicable in job search. Oops. So let me introduce myself. My name is Elmira Alim. I'm representing Settlement Online Pre-Arrival, SOPA in short, and our program offers a variety of service for clients who are predestined to arrive in Ontario, Canada. We offer free online courses on job search, soft skills. We provide courses that help you understand the workplace culture in Canada, also to understand the essentials of opening a business in Canada. We offer services of employment counseling and settlement support. Some of you might be our clients already, so welcome. For those of you who aren't, you're welcome to learn more about us at arriveprepared.ca and learn about our registration requirements there. So in today's webinar, we're going to talk about soft skills, their definition and applicability. I'm going to give you the identifying factors that separate hard skills and soft skills. We're going to talk about some essential soft skills that have been identified for this year in 2020. And those 5 skills I would talk to you in much detail, and we're going to cover what they are, how they are applicable for job search, and what you can do to develop them further. At the end of the webinar, I'm going to share some of the resources for free online courses that you can visit and register for to enhance your knowledge on soft skills. And there would be a separate section on questions where I would be answering some of the questions you have. Before we start, I would like to set some housekeeping rules. So you should know that this session is recorded. It's also shared live on YouTube. And later this week, you will receive a link for the webinar from YouTube and this presentation as well. Also, I would like to ask you to remain muted throughout this webinar so as to eliminate any background noise. And for any questions you have, you can address them to my wonderful colleague Nadine. She would take record of your questions and would ask them at the end. So let's start. So what are soft skills? Soft skills are people skills, essentially. So they are your good manners and personality traits that help you get along with others and build positive relationships. And soft skills come from life experience. So some people are born with inherent soft skills like public speaking or leadership skills. Others develop them throughout their career and through their work experience. And for example, if you work in retail or have experience there, chances are that you probably have a set of soft skills already, like problem solving, conflict resolution. If you've dealt with unhappy clients and helped them resolve issues, you probably have some customer service skills. The teachers would have already a set of leadership skills, public speaking, and organizational skills. So if you reflect on your life and your past experience, you will have a collection of soft skills that you can use in your job search and you can mention in your resume. And so soft skills are very important and they are highly regarded by employers. And they are the deciding factors that help identify whether to keep or to promote an employee. So it has been said that hard skills, your diplomas, your qualifications and trainings, they get you an interview. And soft skills, your soft skills of organizational skills and your integrity, your confidence, your enthusiasm, are the ones that get you hired and help you retain your job and move further in your career. And hard skills and soft skills are often confused, but they are very separate from each other, and there are some identifying factors and characteristics that separate them. So hard skills are easily quantifiable, and these are very specific training and knowledge that you have acquired throughout your career, through training, through your education, and they are quantifiable. The great example of that is your fluency in language. So for example, if you've had an experience of doing the CLB examination or IELTS or TOEFL, you would know that each of your skills in that language, your reading, your writing, and speaking skills would be identified in a score. So your final score would be easily quantifiable and would imply some kind of proficiency in the language, whether it's upper intermediate or advanced, depending on the benchmark you received. Hard skills are also certifiable. So the great representation is your academic degrees. So your master's, bachelor's or PhDs would be your hard skills. Also your designations and licensing count as well. So if you're an engineer, your engineering license would also be considered a hard skill. Hard skills in addition, are definable. So they're usually represented in a specific branded name of a program or a skill. So if you are proficient in Microsoft Word, wherever you would apply, people would understand that you have the knowledge of Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, and etc. And it's the same, it applies for other programming or technical language or a set of skills required in your career or in your industry. So soft skills are, industry specific and, technical skills that are required to help you perform a specific function within a job. However, a lot of focus is put on hard skills. And sometimes soft skills are not paid enough attention in resumes or in cover letters and during interviews. However, soft skills, they're very highly transferable. They're very flexible in the way they can be used. And in the research that was done by LinkedIn in 2018, they have identified that 57% of employers, they value soft skills above hard skills. And soft skills are much more difficult to measure. They are usually your social skills, like teamwork, public speaking, organizational and management skills. They also refer to your attitude, your confidence, integrity, reliability, credibility, and they also can be applied to management skills. So time management, planning, organization are also soft skills. And as I've mentioned, they're very transferable. They are broadly applicable across all sectors and industries, and you would need them wherever you would go. So today I'm going to talk to you in much more detail about the 5 skills that have been identified by LinkedIn. So LinkedIn have created a roadmap for employers where they have reviewed more than 660 professional representatives of different sectors across the platform. They have also analyzed around 20 million job listings in their platform. So they have shortlisted 5 soft skills that are considered essential for 2020, and they are creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. And I'm going to speak to you in much more detail about that. So creativity, the first list, the first item is creativity, and don't confuse it with arts and sculpting and dance. It refers to creative thinking. And creative thinking might mean devising new ways to carry out tasks, solve problems, and meet challenges. It means bringing a fresh and sometimes unorthodox perspective to your work. And creativity is a skill that is manifested in different ways. When it concerns employment, it might mean stepping out of your comfort zone and looking for jobs in areas that are completely are completely different from what you were doing in your job in the past. So for people in regulated professions like engineers or health professionals, for whom licensing is a must in Canada, getting an alternative career might be a solution, because as something that you can do while you are working on your license or your designation. So alternative careers for people in regulated professions might mean a lot of things. For engineers, it might mean getting a technical a job as a sales representative. Or maybe if you have writing skills, writing for a technically oriented journal, same can be applicable for health professionals. And if you look online, you will find lots of resources that give you options as to what you can do, depending on your field. Also, being creative in your job search might mean looking for opportunities aside classical resources like job search websites or job listings posted in newsletters and etc. So maybe you can expand your search and look for opportunities in networking websites like LinkedIn or Meetup or Eventbrite, for example. You can look for other places where you can get that where you can get training, like volunteering opportunities, apprenticeships, or internships. So many employers value creative thinkers. So consider highlighting your creative thinking skills on your resume and in your interviews. So when you're applying for a job, think of how your creative nature has helped you in the past and how it might be helpful to your employer. So make sure to include examples of problem solving, communication, organization that you have performed in the past. So maybe you have an example where you came up with a creative way to save the department money, or you have devised a new filing system that have improved efficiency for your employer and your work. So such examples really would play to your favor. And to develop creative thinking skills, it's important to analyze, to think outside the box, to make sure to keep track of labor market trends, to collect industry insight, to identify possibilities wherever you can find. And internet is your friend over here. It's important to be open-minded. So look for alternative career pathways, look for other ways you can use and you can utilize your knowledge and your skills. Be a problem solver. So if you have any gaps in your training or knowledge that you feel that you need to fill, look for training opportunities. And they can be they can be offered to you by bridging programs or employment services in your city. Make sure to organize your ideas. When you're applying for jobs, you send out dozens of applications on a weekly or a monthly basis. So keeping track of the jobs you applied for and having some kind of a list will definitely be helpful. It's also important to communicate, to find new and unorthodox ways to look for opportunities like networking, attending online events, and etc. Okay, so the next skill is persuasion. So persuasion is one of the communication skills, and to develop those skills, you need to remember to listen first. So especially when you are attending networking events, it can be nervous and anxiety-inducing event for you, and you have that pressure of wanting to impress your speaker and to make a good impression. So being an active listener would mean focusing on the person you are talking to, whether you are making a statement or asking a question, and trying to really understand them before mentally preparing your question. Sorry, mentally preparing your answer. And don't be afraid to ask questions or paraphrase what your speaker have said to you to ensure clarity and understanding. In communication, it's important to express yourself well. So make sure to keep track of your tone of voice, your gestures, the pace of your speaking. And again, when you're nervous, people tend to speak fast. So make sure to pace your speaking, and keeping eye contact is also crucial. However, for some of you, it might be a bit difficult to look into the eyes for too long. So as a way around, you can try looking into people's foreheads. Your presentation style is also important, and it refers to what I have been saying before, your tone of voice, your gestures, and the way you present yourself. So it might be a good idea to film yourself, ask your friends to do it for you, so as to analyze anything that you might improve or correct in yourself. Calmly explaining what you need refers to the tone of voice, so make sure that it is friendly and professional. And the ability to persuade others is another skill of communication that I would talk to you in much detail in the next slide. So persuasion is convincing others to change their point of view, agree to a commitment, purchase a product or service, or take a course of action. So as a form of communication, oral and written persuasion is highly valued by employers. And how to be more persuasive, especially in your job search effort. So know your audience. So when you're applying for a job, make sure to really carefully read the job description and the qualifications in particular. When you would progress to the interview stage, make sure to learn as much as you can about the company you are applying for. That would mean knowing their mission, their history, their operations and services, their board of directors, read their financial reports if they are available. So learn as much as you can and apply that knowledge to the answers that would be asked from you. Building rapport would mean showing the hiring managers and the representative of the company that would be interviewing you that you have their best interest in mind. So by the analysis that you've done before, you probably have identified some challenges or pain points that that company has. So your task here would be showing that you have the right skills and the right expertise to help them, achieve their objectives and solve any issues that they might have. And in your resume, in your cover letters, make sure to highlight the right illustrations, the right factual achievements that would, represent that. Focusing on benefits would mean, again, playing to your strengths and showing your most notable skills and experience that are relevant for the job you're applying for. finding common ground would mean anticipating any challenging questions that might arise during the interview. So if you have a gap in your employment history where you didn't work for some time, it might be a good idea to prepare an answer in advance and anticipate such questions. Okay, the next skill, the third skill on the list is collaboration and teamwork. So hiring managers look for job candidates who can work well with others. And that would translate to the ability to negotiate with others, to accept and give feedback. And if in the past it has been, there was some flexibility in the way that you can choose whether to work independently or in a team environment. Nowadays, it's more often that or any kind of jobs would be performed in a team. So having that skill is important. And to be more collaborative, it's important to communicate in a friendly and professional tone, to listen to ideas and ask questions. And by asking questions for clarification and demonstrating concern, and using nonverbal cues, you can show your team that you care and that you understand their ideas and concerns. The same is applicable for the job search process. So if you have questions, make sure, don't be afraid to ask them. It would show that you are curious, that you are, that you really want to collect the most accurate information. It's important to be reliable, so make sure to stick to deadlines and send out the required information within the time that was given to you. Be respectful. So simple actions like using the person's name and making sure to know the name and the title of the person who would be interviewing you, or getting in contact with you throughout the job search, without the application process. It's important to make eye contact and actively listen to the person you are speaking to enhance your image. The fourth soft skill we have is adaptability. So adaptability in the workplace means being able to change in order to become successful. And it is important because, as in the current environment of the pandemic, being adaptable and being flexible is really, really crucial. As many businesses are struggling to fit into the changing economy and the changing human resources supply. So it's important to be flexible. And employers are looking for people who can. Employers are looking for people who can demonstrate strong adaptability skills and help them face challenges. As a soft skill, adaptability requires a number of other soft skills in order to be applied successfully. So make sure it refers to the ability to learn quickly and put that learning into practice. You must be able also to learn from your mistakes and identify trends and make decisions accordingly. So to be more adaptable, as it was mentioned, you need to be able to learn, to be persistent, to be resourceful and curious. Okay, so the final soft skill we have on the list is emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is not a new theory, but it is a relatively new addition to the list of desired soft skills. It is generally defined as the awareness of your emotions and feelings and those of others, while being able to use the awareness to guide decisions and interactions with others. This is a very subtle skill. So to be able, so it is mostly emotional intelligence is in demand for fast-paced environments where the stress levels are high, where you have to deal with tight deadlines, and there's a lot of change happening within teams. However, it can be applicable to other types of workplaces as well. So emotional intelligence can be inbound. It refers more to self-management and self-awareness. It can be outbound, so it more implies relationship management and the way you interact with others. And to improve emotional intelligence, you need to be self-aware to understand your strong sides and your limitations as well. So when it applies to job search, you really should know what you want and what you don't want in the workplace and in the job you would be doing, and being really attentive to yourself. it's important to take critique well. So when you're applying for jobs, sometimes you get rejections letters. So it's crucial not to take it personally and be able to step ahead and move forward. Be resilient refers to the same thing. And it's important to pay attention to how you communicate. So and be friendly and positive and professional at all times. Okay, so we have reached the near end of the webinar. And over here, I'm offering you some resources of online courses that are free of charge that you can participate in or register in. Most of them are offered through LinkedIn Learning. So if you have a profile, that would be easily accessible to you. We also have some courses from Coursera and edX. And at the very end, I have some link from Eventbrite for Toastmasters events. For those of you who would like to develop their public speaking skills, you can do it with Toastmasters. That will help. They have some online sessions that you can register in to learn more. Okay, so thank you for your time and attention, and we can move on to questions.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Elmira, for this great presentation. And thank you, everyone, for attending. So I will start sharing the questions that I received so everyone can see them. And then Elmira would respond to your questions. And thank you in advance for all the great questions. So the first question would be, sorry, how do employers assess soft skills?
So that's a very good question. So the way employers assess skills is through interaction. So if you've put good communication skills, written and oral, that would be easily identifiable through the way you communicate by email, if it's written communication, the way you conduct correspondence, the way you answer to emails and to follow-ups and ask questions, that would be an illustration of that. The written communication, the oral communication skills, for example, again, they would start from the first telephone calls that you would receive and conduct, and will be straightened and reinforced during the interviewing skills. So the soft skills are they're evident from the start, whereas the hard skills, you really have to start performing the job duties to show and demonstrate them.
Great. So another great question is, what is the difference between transferable, soft, and hard skills?
Okay, another excellent question. So transferable skills are the skills that can be easily applied across industries and job positions and sectors. So soft skills are more flexible in this regard. They can be applicable to all spheres of life, personal and professional. So as an example, and I can give engineers, for example. So they have a set of hard skills, like the training, the knowledge of specific engineering software, and they have the soft skills of being precise, of having, of being organized, of having great managerial skills or self-management skills. And so their soft skills, they can apply to, to the finance field, to other fields they would choose, whereas their hard skills, there are some skills, the technical skills might be transferable. For example, the Microsoft Word skills, that they have knowledge of Excel, PowerPoint, and etc., can be easily transferable to other walks of life and professional life, whereas some skills are less flexible in this. So soft skills are more flexible and more easily transferable than hard skills.
Next question is why employers value more soft skills than technical skills?
Oh, another great question. So soft skills are more valuable because they really influence the working of the team. They really influence the interrelations that happen in the team environment. And for employers, having the right level of motivation and camaraderie in the workplace is really important. And technical skills, they are important, of course, and in order to complete a specific job, you really have to have that, functional technical skills. However, if a person lacks the associated soft skills that go with them, like teamwork and communication, it might be difficult to complete the work in a smoother way.
Next question is from Pavan, asking when it comes to online interview, which is the new norm, what soft skills can be used to perfect?
Okay. What soft skills can be used to perfect? Communication skills is a instant reply, I would say. Also, I would also say your teamwork skills. So the way to show how efficient you were, to give examples of how efficient you were in a team environment would also be a good examples that you can give. It would also be good to show your management skills, to give examples of your self-management skills, but because it's very important, especially now in the current environment where we all work from home, to show that you're able to manage yourself, to manage your time, your resources, and be effective. Customer service is also another skills that should be also mentioned because we all work in an environment where we provide services, and how well and efficient and respectful and kind manner we do it also plays a big role.
Okay. Dominic is asking about a section in the presentation, which was the adaptability or the adjusting section, saying that it went really fast and is wondering if we can go over it one more time.
Sure. If you have time for that, of course. Just give me a moment to get back. Okay. So adaptability is more relatable to know how flexible you are, or how you can rearrange yourself, your skills, in order to meet the requirements, the changing requirements that might arise in the workplace. And in job search, it might mean to be able to be creative. So collaboration and creative thinking are very closely tied to each other. So in order to be adaptable and to be flexible, you also need to be creative and find new ways to answer or reply to any issues that might arise. So to develop that, again, to develop collaboration skills and to be, sorry, I'm skipping. So it's important to learn to be self-aware, to learn from your past experience, also from the existing history of that organization, and to extract that past knowledge, to be able to know how to change and to implement that knowledge in a new way. It's important to be persistent. So when we are speaking of job search, ability to learn and be persistent would mean that uh, from all the job processes that you are going through applying for, sending your resume and sending your cover letters, if you feel that something is missing and you are doing it over and over again but there's no result, you might consider going to an employment agency in your city, to registering with employment program that will help you get the lacking skills that you feel are needed. A lot of programs are offering employment counseling, so that might resume clinics as well. So that might be very helpful for you in order to assess, to get a fresh view of your marketing documents and learn what can be done in a new way. So being adaptable would also mean to be persistent. So again, I understand that there might be some rejections, there might be some applications that didn't get a reply at all. So it's important to not to focus on the negativity and step forward and move ahead and just carry on until you get a yes instead of a no. It's important to be resourceful. So again, creativity comes in mind, and look for, if you're in Canada, there's a lot of resources available for immigrants, for newcomers. So make sure to use them, learn about any agencies, any organizations that provide such resources to you, and make use of them. There's a lot of online events, online job fairs that are happening this fall. And if you look online, you would be able to be part of them. And again, being curious is about looking for new information to broaden your scope of view and to try to ask around, to be curious. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help if needed. There's lots of resources to help you there. I hope I answered your question.
Any other questions? Please feel free to share them with me. So another good question, asking how can I develop soft skills?
So to develop soft skills, great question. So there's a lot of online resources that you can use and be part of. And soft skills are developed through practice. So again, getting out there and getting into volunteering, getting into internships where you interact with people, where you are in team environments, where you are exposed to interactions of any kind, and sharing of ideas and resources would help you develop that soft skills. As I mentioned, so soft skills are basically people skills. So they all come from interaction of any kind. So get out there and join a professional community, a network. I know it's a bit challenging now in the current pandemic, but there's a lot of online events happening that are advertised on Eventbrite and Meetup and other resources that you can be part of. And soft skills are more effectively developed when you are forced to engage with new people, when you're forced to be put out of your comfort zone and gain access to new experiences. So I would advise you to do that.
Okay, another great question. How do you reflect the soft skills on your resume?
Okay, so first of all, think there's a lot of some soft skills are closely associated with specific industries or specific occupations. So first of all, I would advise you to research the required soft skills for your industry and think how they are applicable to you. So if you're in finance, probably precision, accountability, credibility, communication skills, ability to learn in teams and effectively with each other would be the soft skills that would be representative of that field. So it's good to know what kind of soft skills are associated with your industry, and there's a lot of such lists available online that you can research and analyze.
Another question. Aren't there soft skills training provided by employers before starting the career?
It would be implied probably that you have those skills developed. They probably, whatever training they might offer would be more relatable to hard skills. And for soft skills, as it is mostly associated with your life experience, it would be expected that you have some soft skills already in place. But there are courses offered by us, SOPA, and other organizations where you can learn about soft skills and how to discover them in yourself and how to outline and highlight them in your resume and cover letters and during interviews. So there are tools like that offered by other organizations, but not necessarily by employers. If you're curious, we have SOPA has online courses on soft skills, working with others, and professional communication that you can be a part of if you meet the eligibility criteria of our program. Also, such similar courses are very widely available by other organizations and by other resources online.
Waiting for more questions.
Okay, take your time. Thank you for the wonderful questions. They're all all of them are very specific and very very great.
Okay, maybe we can wait for 1 or 2 more minutes in case any of the participants would like to share any question, and then maybe we will have to close the webinar.
Sure.
Okay. I've just received a question from Dominic asking, saying your LinkedIn page gives you places to display both soft and hard skills. So maybe it's not a question, it's just like a suggestion, or he's sharing a piece of information with us.
Okay. Yeah, I believe they separate the skills on LinkedIn as well.
Thank you, Dominic, for your suggestion.
Yes, and they also have a feature of skills and endorsements. So this is how your soft skills might be illustrated. So when you are endorsed, you can put some of the soft skills as well as your hard skills. And your colleagues from all walks of life can comment on that and can approve, endorse your skills, so that for others to see and to take notice. recommendations can also be a good way to highlight some of the soft skills you have. So don't be afraid to ask for recommendations on LinkedIn. They really are a way of being as a testimonial to your skills, to your expertise that you can gather from the people you worked for in the past. And employers really pay attention to skills and endorsements. So take notice of that.
Any last questions that you would like to share? Please do not hesitate. Okay, here comes another question. Which soft skill is mostly in demand of employment?
So the list I have shared with you today is one of the current lists that I found, but the most in demand skill is probably communication skills. So as we are always interacting with each other by Skype, by Zoom, by in person, having the right communication skills and being to and having the ability to effectively communicate, share feedback, accept feedback, also is very crucial, and also being adaptable, because we are in the throes of this pandemic. And being adaptable is also another skill I would identify personally. I've in the webinars that I visited, I've mentioned I've heard a few of hiring managers and employment specialists mention that being able to adapt and be a jack of all trades and to be able to transfer your knowledge to different projects and different tasks is very, very, very important nowadays.
Okay, and I have Andrea asking about any links that we can share so they can access the available training.
Yes, so the skills I've mentioned over here, I would share with you, and you would be able to visit them at your own time and click and see what kind of training you can get. Also, I would share some information on the soft skills courses that we provide, just for those who might be curious to join SOPA.
Just to clarify, sorry, the question was from Deborah, not from Anne.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dominic is asking if SOPA offers mock interviews.
We offer employment counseling, and that might take form of a mock interview if requested. So yes, we do offer mock interviews.
Okay. Elmira and myself will be sharing our emails. So in case you have any follow-up questions or you needed any further resources, please do not hesitate to contact us, and we would be glad to provide that information for you. I don't have any further questions shared with me.
Well, thank you so much, all of you, for joining this session and for participating and for all your wonderful questions. I wish you all the best in on your journeys and all your endeavors. So good luck and stay healthy and safe.